Call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Hello guys, so today we're going to be reviewing X-Men The Last Stand, the worst X-Men movie of all time. My god, this film, I mean there is some things that are good in this film, but it's just mostly bad. Yeah, I mean the next film after this isn't any better too, but Jesus. So it basically starts with Charles and Magneto actually meeting Jean for the first time, and you know, taking her to the mansion. Because at this time, they was kind of like, you know, somewhat working together. But I'm not, because I don't know if these are supposed to be like the ones from like how old they were in First Class, but they're kind of using CGI to make them younger instead. Yeah, so I don't know if that was the best strategy for this film, but yeah. Because when you get to First Class, it just makes the scene look so dumb. Because they didn't even look like this. Yeah. But yeah, they basically meet Jean for the first time in her parents, saying they can look after her and stuff, and they'll help her like control her abilities, saying you're not the only one with gifts, which that quote will come back later on. Yeah, in a cool way. But yeah, you just see that Jean has a lot of power while also making a Stan Lee cameo. Then we jump to like Angel when he was a kid. If you know him from like the X-Men, you know, comics or cartoons, basically he kind of has something he doesn't really like, and that's mainly because of how society kind of views his kind. And he feels bad that, you know, he's also a part of that kind, and he's trying to get rid of his wings by scraping them off. It just looks so painful. Yeah. But yeah, then his dad basically finds out, and he's just like, oh, not you too. Then you cue the intro. And you basically got like the X-Men team in the Danger Room, which is cool. Yeah. It's a nice cool little start to the film, while also kind of like making a reference to Sentinels and stuff. But yeah, basically Wolverine doesn't even let the team actually try to work together. Like they barely get to work together properly. You get like Iceman like freezing like a missile, then him just showing off to Kitty Pryde's character, I think. But then like she kind of phases through it, you know, and also saves Iceman, even though, you know, when it comes to the Danger Room, I'm not sure if it actually hurts the X-Men, but I mean, like, it probably does hurt them, but, like, actually kill them? Like, I'm not even sure if it can go that far, but yeah. Wolverine just basically carries them, even though he uses Colossus to, like, just launch himself, like, to the flipping, Sentinel thing. Yeah. And, yeah, class dismissed. And Storm just wanted them to work as a team, but he just feels like they're not ready. And then you just got Scott being depressed, which just, I hate that. That's just terrible. Then you got Hank McCoy. Like, this is one of the best things about this film, Hank McCoy. I liked him in this film. It just sucks we didn't really get to see him again properly, instead of just like a little cameo in Days of Future Past. I really wish he had like got another chance in a better film. Yeah. He really deserved it. Because I liked him in this film. And then Trask. This is supposed to be Trask, even though like they make him like Peter Dinklage in Days of Future Past, which makes no sense. Yeah, that's sometimes the issue with when you get to like the worst X-Men films. They'll have some of these weird stuff, and then like when you go to the better films, it messes up things a lot, like with time and stuff, like with time periods and how the characters are supposed to be and look. It's just like, because here he's like a black bald guy, but in flipping Days of Future Past, what's also set even when he's supposed to be younger, is like a white small guy. It's just it's stupid. It makes no sense. That's some of the issues that can happen. And then they're basically talking about having Mystique hostage and possible, because the main story of this movie is like having a cure, yeah, and that kind of takes the forefront of the movie. Yeah, especially for the ones who possibly want to be cured and the ones who are fighting against it. You know, Magneto, obviously. Yeah. And I guess Hank McCoy has close connections to the president and just trying to do things more peacefully. Yeah, so the X-Men have basically come a long way after a lot of the things they've been through. Yeah. And then Charles, I think, I don't know when this happens, but he finds out that, you know, I mean, he kind of, that's the thing, when you think about X-Men 2, I feel like, I think they made it obvious that, like, Xavier knew that Jean was alive, but he didn't say anything going into this film, and that just shows that it's a different director, because Bryan Singer directed the first 2 films, but when you get to this film, it's like they're kind of ignoring some stuff that happened at the end of X2. It's just, the only thing they probably follow up is, you know, finding out that Jean's alive, but Professor X seems like he knew that Jean was alive, and he didn't tell the X-Men until Scott flipping died, which I just hate Scott died in this film. They just did him so dirty in these movies, compared to the cartoons where they made him so cool. Yeah, everyone's happy to see Hank. Yeah. Like, man, he deserves so much better. It just failed him. And they're basically trying to work out how things are going to go with what he found out, yeah. I don't know if it was in the scene, but yeah. Then you got the Brotherhood, like basically Magneto's just trying to fully grow his Brotherhood right now, because normally you just see like a few members, with, you know, possibly Mystique being there too, because she's always by his side. But yeah, he's just trying to get more mutants in this scene, and you kind of got Pyro on Magneto's team at this point too. Yeah, he's just trying to like grow his Brotherhood, that are trying to basically extinct the mutants, and that's why they decide to join, I guess. Yeah, you got one that goes fast, one that's like spiky, and then I can't remember what the other one does. Yeah, well, they kind of get some more when they break into this place to like help Mystique, I guess. You just get some little funny scenes where Mystique turns into a little girl, and just this guy says, "Keep it up, I'll spit in the face, bitch." Like, oh my god. And then she says, "When I get out of here, I'm gonna kill you myself," while she's a little girl. It's just, oh my god. Yeah, and this is when Hank McCoy gets to see the Cure, which is actually just a little mutant boy who has the power to like take away, like, you know, their mutant power. And for Hank McCoy, when he goes next to him, like, his blue skin turns into like normal skin, and it's just like, wow, you have a unique gift or something like that. Yeah. And I think it's the scene when Scott dies. I'm just skipping over this. I hate it. It looks like he reunites with Jean, but then, you know, basically the Phoenix has fully taken over and kills him. Yeah. So we're just skipping all that shit. I don't want to see that shit. Yeah. Then they basically find out what happened afterwards, that Scott's not there, and they find Jean's body. Yeah. And then I guess they're kind of happy that she's alive, but they have no idea what happened to Scott. But then I guess Charles Xavier basically reveals that, you know, there was something inside of her that sometimes tried to take over. But like, Charles kind of did things to Jean to make sure he doesn't get out, and, you know, Wolverine's kind of pissed about that because of what he's been through in his past. So yeah, they kind of butt heads in this movie from that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then when he tries to talk to her, like, he starts to realise what he actually meant. Yeah. Then you got the scene where Angel's possibly going to get the Cure, but then he realises that he doesn't want it, and then he basically flies out the window. Yeah. So I'm just skipping over that. It's a cool scene though. Like, just seeing him fly, that was a really nice scene. Then you got Magneto, yeah, just basically destroying a bunch of cop cars. Like, Magneto in this is just so good when it comes to using his powers. The best we've seen up until we get to see the new actor who takes over. Like, oh my god, he does such a good job at making Magneto brutal. But in this, when it comes to actually using his powers in a just magnetic way, like, oh my god. Because the Magneto that we get afterwards is just, he feels more brutal, but this one is like, the way it's just so, you can tell he has so much experience with his power, and he's just mastered it. The way how he uses it in this film is just so good. But yeah, he basically breaks up Mystique, but then she ends up getting shot with the Cure. Then we get introduced to flipping Juggernaut. Yeah, UK legend. Yeah, Mystique ends up getting shot. She loses her powers. Yeah, and then he's just like, Magneto's like, I guess you're not a part of us anymore. You know, one of us, whatever. It's just like, really, would Magneto actually do that after everything Mystique did for him? But whatever, this film's shit anyway. Oh my god, this film, I hate it. And yeah, like, I guess this scene's supposed to mirror like X-Men 1 when you know, Wolverine kind of woke up like in a similar situation, but then he was kind of spooked by Jean. So they kind of do it the opposite way, because in this moment, like, the Phoenix is kind of more in control, and it's kind of more ruthless than probably how Wolverine was when they found him. Yeah. And they start kissing, but then realizes it's kind of wrong, and then he's starting to realize that there's something wrong with Jean, and asking about what happened to Scott, and she ends up getting mad and just breaks out of the X-Men mansion. Yeah. So I'm just trying to skip through, really. It's just on Disney Plus. It just has a lot of loading. Because on my reviews, I want you to at least show what I'm actually talking about. But Jesus Christ, like using Disney Plus compared to other websites I use. But yeah, the bit like this is when I guess he basically fully explains everything about Jean. So they end up going to like her old house. So it kind of mirrors like the beginning of the film. Yeah, and then but you know, Magneto kind of brings his people along the way too, just in case things go wrong. Yeah. So she decides to go to her old house, and I'm not sure if someone else basically lives inside this house. So she just basically possibly like went inside the house. The new owners are probably there. I'm not sure if her parents would still be there or alive. So yeah. I just don't know if she just basically held a flipping house hostage and just, you know, tried to think about things there, and to be alone. But then things start going wrong when Charles tries to reason with her, saying that she shouldn't really let her powers control her. And it seems like Jean kind of starts to break out from what the Phoenix is doing, like taking over her body and stuff. But then Magneto's kind of trying to talk at the same time to like embrace your power, don't let Charles hold you back and what this world's trying to do to you. Yeah, and then everything just goes crazy. Yeah. Because I feel like when Charles starts to say like, you killed the man you love and stuff, like that's when she's like, no, stop it, and then the mirror just breaks, and then Wolverine starts to go over, but then flipping Magneto's people start to fight the X-Men. It gets crazy. Yeah. Cool fight scenes, even though they're a bit cringy though. But yeah, then you get to the moment where Charles Xavier dies. Like the Phoenix just goes so crazy, she basically explodes Xavier. Then Magneto just takes her away, and Wolverine kind of was trying to help out, but you know, by clawing on to the roof, because he ends up going up to the roof because she was like making everything go up and destroying the house. But yeah, he only basically got to see Charles die. Yeah, and then it was a sad scene, because as a kid when I watched this for the first time, I actually thought they fully killed Charles Xavier. And even though we find out later on that he basically just goes into his comatose brother's body, and then, you know, that's how he gets to appear in Days of Future Past, which is kind of dumb. Like, they had to like actually use some dumb writing for the better films. That's kind of funny. Yeah, and MCU sometimes goes for that too. Yeah. Oh, it's loading, man, it's so bad. I can't even fully show the scenes properly, but yeah. Yeah, he basically takes her to like his hideout area with his other mutants, and then they have a funeral for like, you know, Charles Xavier. And I think while all this is happening, Rogue is starting to kind of like close off from you know, Iceman. Like, he's starting to get more closer with Kitty Pryde, and I kind of hate how things going into Days of Future Past, because yeah, like Kitty Pryde and Iceman are like fully together at that point, and Rogue, like, he doesn't even care about Rogue, because they find out like in the War Cut she is basically held prisoner, and you'd think Iceman would want to save her. I can't even because I've only watched the World Cup like once, and I can't remember if it was even Iceman that actually even wanted to go and help her. Iron Man, and I'm not even sure with Wolverine, but he has like a higher purpose anyway in that film. Yeah, and yeah, Kitty Pryde just basically steals Iceman from Rogue. Yeah, but in a way, Rogue was kind of like being a bit pushed off anyway. But maybe Rogue thought like Iceman would fight for her more. So when he doesn't, he just like ends up with Kitty Pryde, I guess. Yeah. And helps her mourn Professor X. Because Kitty Pryde's character's always been around, but they've always had a flipping different actor for her. And Ellen Page ends up being like the last actor until I guess we're gonna get a reboot. Yeah, and I guess I kind of like fancied Ellen Page at at the time when I was a kid, so yeah. And it was could have brought her back for Days of Future Past, but then we all know what's happened now. Like she's kind of like a man now, and I'm happy they're getting to be the person they actually want to be. Yeah, which I'm totally cool with that. And it's kind of cool how they kind of worked it in Umbrella Academy too. Yeah. But yeah, I just talked about this stuff. It's just like this is going so slow. Oh my god. So after this, Ward tries to like maybe get the cure, and I can't fully remember if she actually goes through with it too. I can't remember if she actually does it. But by the time you get to like the Wolverine film, like the end credit scene, I can't really talk about that part though yet. Like let's just finish this film first. Yeah, let's just talk about the whole film first. The rest of the film. Yeah. So yeah, basically it's gonna take a fight to the people who have the cure. So they're basically gonna kidnap and kill the boy. Like that's basically their plan. Yeah, because they don't want to be forced to be human like them. Basically take out their kind. But at least they're not killing them compared to what they might try to do in the future. So yeah, but they don't want to be forced to be normal, I guess. And then like flipping Pyro kind of goes to like the right area to start a fight with Bobby, yeah, Iceman, and he basically like throws fire at the flipping building, yeah, which is a little cool. It's a little cool butt head scene, yeah. I'm just trying to get through this movie as fast as I can because man, it's just buffering so much. It's pretty bad here, and I think this is when Wolverine was trying to get Jean. And he basically ends up fighting a lot of Magneto's people. Like this is a pretty good scene now. I enjoy this scene when he's like fighting all these people, and he ends up fighting someone who can grow their limbs back, I think. But I don't think that's until like the end. He basically fights a guy who can like take things out of his body and throw him at Wolverine. But then Wolverine just gets his gun and goes like ah, and it just stabs him. It's just epic. Like, if I can show it without the sound, let me. Yeah. I just love that scene. But I think it's already gone past. I love that scene. Yeah. That seems awesome. Yeah, basically just stabs him, that's all I'll show. And he gets to see that Jean's there and what their plan is, and then just basically goes back to the X-Men and then they just basically follow him. And Magneto basically gets a whole bridge, like an iconic bridge from real life, and just moves it entirely while innocent people are basically on the bridge. It's just that's like Magneto's best scene in all these films. Yeah. If we just talk about showing his power, that's his best scene. Second best, maybe like the helicopter scene in Dark Phoenix. Even though I might be going a bit too far because he just has so many good scenes. If you're comparing like both actors who play Magneto in these films, like my god, they have some amazing scenes, and they can sometimes carry films. Like my god, I just hate that it's just constantly buffering. I can't even show the scenes properly on Disney Plus. I can do better with basically an illegal website compared to like an actual paid website. Like this is just funny. Yeah, which I'm just basically saying like, yeah, sometimes I use illegal websites to watch stuff because sometimes these websites won't even have what I want, and sometimes act slow. So yeah, I'm just saying that now. So yeah, they're basically. I don't know if Wolverine thinks the team's actually ready, but they're still willing to take a chance to stop Jean from basically hurting people, and then yeah, also stop the boy from getting hurt. Who's the cure? Yeah. It just sucks I can't really show these scenes properly because the flipping buffering. Like I'd be doing better with an illegal website right now, but since this is a shit film, I don't really care. Whatever. We'll just quickly talk about what happens at the end. So basically, they get to the island where the boy is. It seems like it's kind of trying to, but it's just they basically massacre a lot of the people who are defending the boy, like the soldiers. They basically get inside, and they kill a lot of the scientists. But then the X-Men come and kick their asses, basically. Yeah. But Juggernaut, like, he gets defeated by Kitty Pryde, which is hilarious. But she kind of gets a bit of help from like the special kid. Yeah, like I just don't know if it's because of the room as well, like the room that is inside. Yeah, and just this little scene here is pretty cool. Yeah, just them lined up together before they fight Magneto's people. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I just hate that there is. This is probably the best part of the whole film. Yeah, this last part is pretty good. And then when Iceman's fighting Pyro, their final fight together, I just kind of wish it went on a bit longer, but it was still cool. Yeah. But yeah, it just feels like it's impossible to get to the parts I actually want to show. But yeah, Kitty Pryde protects the kid. The other X-Men, like Storm defeats the Fast Girl. I can't remember who beats the Spike guy. Yeah, the guy from Rush Hour. Clean yourself off, you're bleeding. But yeah. But then when things start to get out of hand, this is when basically Dark Phoenix just goes... Well, Phoenix just goes crazy and just kills everyone. Everyone's basically flipping turning into what Charles turned into, just exploding. And Magneto's like, what have I done, while losing his powers, because Wolverine kind of gets the final blow on him. Oh no, is it Beast who gets the final blow? Like, he injects him with the cure, and, you know, Magneto loses his powers, because Magneto's, like, fully focused on Wolverine, but then that's when Beast comes and just goes like, pfft, and he basically lost his powers. Yeah. And I think that's what actually pisses off Phoenix, and just, she doesn't want that to happen to her, so she just basically, like, you know, destroys the whole island, possibly wanting to kill the kid as well, who's possibly been able to do this because they get the cure from him. So yeah, basically killing tons of people, and you know, Magneto just regrets it. Yeah. And you know, everyone's just trying to escape. Like, the X-Men are trying to evacuate everyone. Yeah, and then I guess Wolverine's trying to take on the Phoenix by himself, possibly dying for her. And you know, he just tries to make her realize that he's willing to die to protect the real Jean. Yeah. And Jean's able to break out and say, "Save me!" And then, you know, Wolverine stabs her. And yeah, we basically lose Jean again. So basically we lose Scott, Charles, and Jean in this movie. So when I watched this as a kid, I was so pissed. Like, how could they kill off so much X-Men in one film? Like, what the hell? And they did it in a way that's not really satisfying compared to like something like Endgame or something, or Logan. Like, my god. Yeah, and then we just get a funeral for all the characters, basically. Yeah, it kind of ends. Characters leave. Then they end it off with Magneto playing chess in the old. I don't know where he is, but it looks like a care home or something. And it's like he slightly like, you know, makes the thing move, the metal chest thing, and they basically end the film there, showing that Magneto possibly still has his powers. And we don't really get to see a follow-up to that until the Wolverine with the end credit scene, showing that, you know, Magneto still has his powers. And you know, we'll get to that, because it also goes into like also Charles still being alive, which another end credit scene at the end of this film. Like, he basically wakes up in his brother's body. I'm just not sure if I can show it, and basically talking to Moira from the, you know, that you know, the character from the animated show, the 90s show. But they kind of get a different actor to play as him in the X-Men First Class and stuff. But yeah, he basically ends up in his brother's body. Yeah, and that's basically it. That's the film. I mean, if you like this, cool. But to me, this is the worst X-Men film and one of the worst comic book movies of all time. And yeah, I mean, the next film is also pretty bad too, but not as bad as this film, because it just does a lot of things that damage kind of like the story and just killing off too many characters too soon. If this was like a bit later on, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal compared to, like, you know, X-Men 97 already established so much stuff, so when they start doing some really big things like this, you can't be pissed, but you're also sad though. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it. Do you like this film? I mean, respect if you do, but I hate this film. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.